that? Hey, Midnight. Yeah, you should be moving to Georgia, but you haven't. It's a good reason to delay your packing. Get Rocket on TeamSpeak? I would love to. I'm not sure if he would want that, though. He's welcome to say he wants to join if he does, and then save himself the typing. Yeah, absolutely. But if he wants to keep typing, that's totally cool, too. Rocket, will we be able to write and leave notes in DayZ? I think that he said he was working towards that, right? Matt can give it to Sacriel and yourself. Okay, great. Thank you, Rocket, for that. Okay, he's run out of time, guys. Yes, notes, even books. Yes, cool. So we're going to be able to like leave our own mark in the world for other players to find. That is really cool. Awesome posterity. Oh, yeah, okay, sure. Then Chris will give the TeamSpeak details to Matt, and Matt can pass those... Oh, 1 second. Matt has me... Oh, okay, he sent me the contact details. Should we do TeamSpeak or Skype? I find Skype is a bit unreliable. Why is this... I am clicking things. TeamSpeak is fine. Yeah, okay. So, why is this not adding you? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Contact received, and I'm not able to click yes. This is what I mean. Skype needs to sort itself out. Badomen says, Rocket, I love you. Yeah, we all love Rocket. Oh yeah, Rocket, actually, we have another New Zealander, another Kiwi in chat who's actually one of like our biggest like donators and supporters, and that's Lol Module. And he's actually going back to New Zealand in the next few months to see his mom. He hasn't seen for in 5 years, I think, and he makes me jealous all the time because he talks about how he's going to go to Bag End. Big Lord of the Rings fan, so... Where is he from? Where are you from exactly, Lol Module? You're American, but you're going back to New Zealand. Your family lives there, right? Or it's your girlfriend's or wife's family that lives there, but you're going there. Right now, Shannon is directly responsible for the standalone delay. Crap. Now I feel horrible. Thanks, Fabes. Way to go. How should I set this up?
I'm just getting the details now.
Oh, he's... Okay. Sacriel, being the awesome man that he is setting all of this up for me. So I can just keep interacting with you guys. Woot.
What's the password for TeamSpeak?
Blame all the things on Shannon. I can't work because I have to type in the moment. Fish and chips. Oh, you lived in Hamilton. Your stepfather's from there. That's what it is. That's the connection. Why you delay standalone? Why you delay standalone? No. Kids zombies were freaky. You're adding children. Yeah, infected children. I'm pretty sure that's being discussed. I don't know. Rocket, can you say anything about what if child zombies are going to be added in right away, or if it's going to be like an eventual update that will happen like at some other point? Shooting a zombie child? That'd be sick. I would have no qualms with shooting a zombie child. At all. None whatsoever. It's fine. A zombie is a zombie is a zombie. Actually, I should say an infected is an infected is an infected. The deal is we release the early version. Then we work more on the advanced stuff. Yeah, okay, so I figured. So the kids is going to be a big job. Fair enough. Animations, new skeleton, yeah. So horses might be more likely than kids. Okay, so Dean, what did you say? Sorry?
I've Skyped him the TeamSpeak details.
Sacriel has Skyped you the TeamSpeak details, so just quickly check your Skype and then you can pop into TeamSpeak with us. Yay. I enjoy killing my children, it seems. Catatonic, you're not supposed to... Okay, look, Don't Starve is a separate category from DayZ. We don't need to discuss what happens in Don't Starve stays in Don't Starve. Yes, I have a reputation for killing many children, but we'll put that aside for now. Okay? Just, please? You lived... Okay, so Law Module says he lives in
Change the
Hammett...
stream title to Talking to Dean.
Oh, yeah, sure, right. I'm not playing Don't Starve. I started my stream an hour ago and I haven't played anything yet. Great. So, yeah. I don't know how much time we're going to get to chat with Dean, but I'm definitely going to update... Hello?
Testing.
How are you?
Good. Is it working?
Yeah, I think I can hear you just fine, so let's just make sure that everybody else can hear you. Can everybody else in chat hear Dean? Yep, and they can hear you. Incoming wave of hearts.
Excellent. That means I don't have to keep that screen open all the time.
Yeah. So now you're free to just do whatever you want on your keyboard, and you can just deal with my voice in your head. That sounded weird. Yeah. So, my goodness, how is the man of the hour?
It's good. It was a really good update. It was a lot of fun to do. You know, I really felt like at the end of December we didn't really have anything to show for where we were at, and that was very frustrating. Particularly it had been such a tense time. So now it's kind of like, yay, we can actually start showing stuff. We're actually getting to design stuff, and that's a lot of fun. That's why I wanted to do this, you know. But before now, it's really just been a lot of business stuff and really difficult data stuff and project setup and all that kind of stuff.
So I guess now you're sort of in the final stages where you can get excited and sort of... it's almost like one of those psychological things where when things start to come to visual fruition, that's when you feel a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say we're coming to the end. I guess, like that first blog post I made, we're kind of at the end of the second beginning. So what happened was originally we said, yeah, DayZ's successful, let's make a standalone, which is really just a modified version of the mod, so that worked on its own. But what happened was actually made a new engine, which is really what we've done. So we've kind of just finished that. We've got that engine at the point where it does some very, you know, the basic stuff we need to do. So now we need to kind of put the meat on that.
Right.
We're lucky that a lot of that meat is stuff we've done before, so we just sort of have to pull it across and make sure it works. But we're being very particular. Whenever we bring something across or do something, we're redesigning it and implementing it the way it should be done, which is exactly what's happening at the moment with zombie pathfinding, for example.
Right. Well, it's one of those things where I can tell you're probably the same kind of person as me, where if you want something done, then you have to do it right, and if it's not done right, it's not done at all.
That's right. You just keep doing it again and again.
Yeah.
And I think if there's been one lesson in making a good multiplayer game, it's that. So this is kind of a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about at my GDC talk.
Oh, great. And when is that coming up?
At GDC, so I guess this end of March.
Okay. So you're going to be answering more questions at that point in time?
I don't think I'll answer questions there. I think the GDC is more about like post-mortem. It's more of a developer thing. So I think probably we'll be able to answer more and more questions as development goes on, both on the dev blog and through streams or through interviews like that. So I think that we're just going to progressively be able to answer more and more questions and say, yes, we're doing this, or no, we're not doing that.
Right. Well, I know that, like, to get back to the post that you just made, which I'm actually just going to quickly bring up again. One sec. So yeah, I like the screenshots. I think were probably especially exciting for everyone because again, it's that feeling of if it's visual and you can see it, and then it becomes real, and it makes people feel that much more pumped and that much more excited to feel like we're one step closer. Not just you guys as developers, but us as obviously fans and players. And I'm just looking at the very first screenshot you put up here. And the two differences, like there is an astounding difference between Arma 2 and DayZ Standalone. Like, I think when we all heard that you were going to be using the Arma 2 engine, we expected that maybe the process of you putting out a standalone wouldn't take that much time because the engine was already there, and maybe you were just going to do a few tweaks. And that was probably the assumption that a lot of people made, myself included. But now seeing just how much you are changing, just how much you are improving, there is a stark difference between Arma 2 and DayZ Standalone, and I can respect the fact that this is what you've put a lot of time into, and I think it's going to pay off. Like it looks so crisp and so beautiful. It's really strange that a post-apocalyptic world would be picturesque, you know?
Yeah, well, and I guess that's kind of, oh man, what's the word for it? I can't remember the word. I guess my brain's fried now, but you know, it's this real, I guess, dichotomy, like, between what you kind of think and what you don't. And I think in some ways that makes it scarier, and I think that's sort of a theme of DayZ. There's obviously some lighting problems, like our CEO was just telling me, you know, the sky is probably a bit bright at the moment.
Right.
So we will need to do, you know, we will need to do some changes to it. Like it's probably a bit blue, but yeah, you know, like we're well on the way. And I think what you were saying was exactly right, which is for a start, we were just intending to kind of tidy up the mod a bit and then push it out. And it was really, I won't say by accident, like there were some conscious decisions when we decided, no, if we're going to do this, we need to do this properly. And it was pretty nerve-wracking decisions to make, but I'm glad we made them. But there were, up until basically the end of December, particularly in December, it looked like it made a bad decision in doing that.
Right. The word you're looking for, sorry, the word you're looking for, by the way, is juxtaposition.
That's right, juxtaposition.
Yeah. Actually, I have one friend who's really eloquent as well, and I think he puts it best. There is great beauty in the desolation of man.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that is.
And I think as well, like for me, it was only today, I'm sure Matt will back this up, when I thought, oh, I'll do a comparison screenshot because the new lighting and the volumetric clouds, they were really looking different. So I thought, I'll do a comparison screenshot. And I did it for a start, and I was like, no, that can't be right. And then I forgot there was a lot of stuff that Arma 2 doesn't do that has been added into the engine since then, like shadows at a distance and these kinds of things. Because I set it up and I was like, that can't be right. I must have the settings wrong. So I went through and I checked all the settings and like, no, wow, that's right. And yeah. Like one thing I really like to do is I actually like to have the view distance set lower in DayZ Standalone for terrain, but the object distance higher, and I think it looks a lot nicer than having the view distance set really high in Arma 2, and but you can't change the object distance, because then you see, if you notice in the DayZ Standalone object, you see the objects fading out at a different distance, and I actually much prefer that.
I think that's more natural looking, yeah. It's kind of funny how Arma just has like a cutoff point where you see things and then you don't.
Yeah.
And it's a bit jarring, and it kind of ruins that feeling of immersion. So it's really cool to like that, and that's one of the things, that's to pay attention to a detail that small as a developer. It puts the game on a different level. I mean, for me as a player personally. So it's really cool to hear that you're paying attention to such small things like that. And I think that gives people a sense of reassurance to know that all of this waiting is going to be beyond worth it. Because if everyone got into DayZ for the reasons that I did, where it's just something unlike any game that's ever been made, and that feeling that you get, that heart-racing feeling when you're in that world, I think it's just going to make it so much more crisp and like powerful, profound when you're playing it when Standalone does come out.
Yeah, we were talking about this at lunch today, about the importance of context. I think it's that context that gives DayZ its potency. And Oda Wiskett, I think, put it really well when he said that DayZ is part of this desperation genre, which people are desperate to play a game like that.
Yep.
But there's nothing out there, so they end up having to play this crappy mod. And so I think, you know, that's what we're aiming to do. We're aiming to provide this context to people gaming, to provide them this risk and, you know, versus reward, And really, I guess we want to try and develop the social side of it. It's going to be quite difficult to do a lot of what we're doing. That's why we've kind of gone back to basics with it. I think there will definitely be people who are disappointed with the standalone in terms of, they'll say you can do all this and that and like DayZ, 2017 and that.
Right.
Can't do it in the standalone. But I think a lot of people will understand that we need to go back to the drawing board with it
Right.
and redo all the components. In order for DayZ